Guys, amazing. FUBO. Guys, I mean, we did the call on FUBO where the stock was 1950. We bought FUBO, we bought calls on FUBO, and then FUBO is flying. And after our first video, FUBO made probably what, I don't know, north of 40%. So people asking, what happening? I mean, what we have to do now? Shall we sell? Well, I mean, in our research, as you guys saw, we actually highlighted that FUBO had two issues. Even if it was an amazing story, fantastic growth story, had two issues. One was the kind of business they do as low barrier of entry, and you know, they don't have it doesn't look like they can actually preserve a moat. But then they surprised us and they went through and buy, as you actually say that at the beginning, you know, they could buy into bettings, try to get into betting. You know, they bought Baldo, and now the stock is flying. There's a lot of volume. We had noticed some calls like the 35 strike calls last week. I mean, the one expired today were like, you know, crazy volume. So we're thinking, what's going on? Where is going? Wedbush came out with the outperforming $40 price. I mean, basically 2 days after that, the price already almost $40. I think it closed 39.50 today. So, I mean, what happened? I'm here with Santiago on it at the end. And Santiago, what I'm thinking, please let me know. I think that those companies that, you know, they start for 1.3, 1.5 billion, and now they're almost like, you know, they go up to 2.5 billion. They are an amazing, you know, acquisition target for bigger company. I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe Disney or maybe something like that. What do you think?
Yes, hi guys. Well, I'm really amazed by seeing FUBO story. So we came out just I think a week ago, and the story went up and up. And as you're saying, I mean, volumes are increasing, and probably there's somebody who is basically intrigued by the story. Is FUBO an acquisition target? Yes, it is. Basically, it is because of a number of reasons. Because I mean, they are increasing their customer base to a far higher extent than what we were expecting, and they will continue doing so. So it is. And who is interested in FUBO? Probably any big media company will be interested in getting the customer base FUBO has been able to build up very fast. So you were mentioning Disney. It might be, but any other, I mean, big media company would be keen to look at FUBO as a potential target. So let's see what's going on. So for the time being, FUBO is surprising us. We think there's still upside on the story, and we will see what's going on.
And Santiago, I want to ask you. I mean, usually acquisition makes sense. Beside the price of the acquisition, that, you know, it makes sense because they create a premium value based on the integration of the two businesses, right? The one that buy and the one that is being bought. So usually what justifies prices is the premium that the margin or whatever, that synergy will create. And I do think that for a media company like, I don't know, maybe Netflix, maybe Disney, maybe AT&T with the media part, you know, that what they will have basically, they will integrate a sort of a sport, you know, platform within their services. And do you think that can be beneficial? Do you think that that kind of cross benefit can come up with something like that? And at that point, what price should or could be the kind of acquisition? And would it be better to buy now rather than later for such a big company? I mean, for a big company to buy something like that?
Well, I mean, when it comes to assess what could be the potential value of an acquisition target, clearly it's a matter of estimating potential synergies going forward. So clearly, I mean, for for a company interested in FUBO. Clearly, the industrial angle is it's a bit difficult to assess. Clearly, probably FUBO may command a 30 or 40% premium compared to current price, or even higher. It depends on a number of factors. I mean, which we don't dominate at the moment. But for the time being, what we can say is that the story remains extremely interesting because of the issue you were mentioning before. It's a potential target, and sooner or later, one big player will look at FUBO, or in the meantime, FUBO will continue consolidating its client base and will continue to acquire small targets, and will become a target itself later on in the future. This is something we cannot rule out, but for the time being, we can reiterate our view, we can reiterate our message. This is a company which is doing extremely well. The management is smart. The company is well managed. Sooner or later, something will happen. So we would suggest you continue to keep a beady eye on the story.
Yes, so obviously, we're gonna be long. We're gonna keep staying long on the company, and the only concern is that FUBO. I mean, the good thing. There's two things, right? One thing is the concern. One thing is a good thing. Concern for the short term can be dilution, right? The company has got preferred shares, and in the same number of ordinary shares. They've been signing an amendment or authorization to be converted, so we can expect fresh share to be converted into ordinary shares anytime, and they are the same amount of money, so the same amount of shares. So basically means that, I mean, dilution can be 100% if it will be total. So I mean, there is a big potential for dilution there, which could affect on the short-term price, but of course, as any dilution, I mean, companies now in these days are trying to take advantage of the big expensive valuation they have, to dilute the company so they can use the money. So if the money get used for good purposes, of course, then on the long term that really is helpful. I mean, that all depends from how the money get used, of course. And another thing, which is a good thing, is that probably FUBO could also be an acquisition target. So it could be, as we said, it could be bought by Disney, probably can be a media company, by Netflix, or by eventually maybe even a gaming company. I don't know. I mean, we need to look into that, and that's quite kind of interesting, and it's quite reasonable now. I mean, the price is still, I mean, it's still a small cap, so I mean, still very very attractive. Because it gets too big, somebody probably can put a hands on it. So yeah, great guys. I mean, we're gonna give an update. We're staying long for now. Wait eventually for a correction to sell some put, and we'll let you know. Thank you.